Quarterback Jeff Lockie today. Jeff, thanks for being here.
No problem.
So Jeff, you got to step into a live game for the first time last Saturday. What was that like?
It was a lot of fun. It's something you always look forward to, coming here, and after a whole year of redshirting and spring and fall camp, I think it was definitely a lot of fun to finally get in there.
What's the last month been like? You moved into the new building, you're competing for a backup quarterback job, and you got to score a touchdown in your first
Yeah,
game.
it's been kind of, competing is always kind of an interesting experience, but I think competing all fall camp's been really good, just really making each other better, and then moving in the building's awesome. So, coming to that every day is not a huge disadvantage, and then finally getting in the game, I think, and scoring a touchdown was something that, you think about for a while, and I'm kind of glad that I've kind of gotten that game experience out of the way, and we can kind of move on now.
People don't often realize that a backup quarterback is one play away from possibly going in the game. Do you view it like that, or do you just think that you're preparing to go in the game like anybody else at any time?
I think you have to you prepare like it's one play away, but you have to prepare like, you're starting the game, because one play away, two play away, whatever it is, you could be right in there. So I think you definitely have to prepare like you're going to start that game, just so you have the right mindset and know everything that's going on.
Last year you had to prepare for 4 home games before you finally prepared for a road game. What's it like now being active and having to prepare for a road game after only one game of the season?
I think traveling last year was a huge helpful to me, just kind of getting the plane and different places, different stadiums. I think that helped a lot. So I think this year not much will change. A lot of things will be going on differently, saying we're in a new environment, but when you step out there, I mean, you're still playing football. So
yeah, when you're calling signals on the sideline, does it ever feel really, really fast to you?
I bet probably in the beginning when I got here last year, it probably felt like, oh my, like there's no way we can actually go this fast in a game. But I think now it's just something you're used to, and you can just kind of keep it going.
Marcus said the most important thing he learned as a redshirt was that feeling a lot of pressure means you're not prepared. What's the most important thing you learned?
The most important thing I learned was just to probably the trust I built, with the teammates, and knowing that, they're going to be in their spot, and just to kind of trust them and trying to give them the ball and somewhere they can succeed, and trust your line and make sure everyone's on the same page. I think that would probably be a huge thing I learned.
You got to, get to meet Coach Helfrich as your quarterback's coach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever forget that he's your head coach now?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had to give him a hard time a little bit in the beginning, just because he's the one who kind of recruited me and quarterback's coach for a year. So now he's kind of big time now, but we make sure he sticks to his roots.
Some teams sleep at the facility for a night each summer. Have you slept in the new building yet?
I actually have not slept here. Definitely thought about it a couple times in fall camp, but I usually made it home.
Do you play NCAA 14 at all?
Say that again?
Do you play NCAA 14 at all?
My roommates do. I'm not very good, so I usually try to stay away from it, but they definitely are playing all the time.
When you're playing it, what's your favorite play to call?
Yeah, you see, the problem with that game is I'm pretty basic, so I like to run verticals every play on offense, and then on defense I blitz everybody. So that's why I'm not too good at that game.
Since you've been at Oregon, the team has already worn many different uniform combinations. What's a combination that hasn't been worn that you'd like to wear this year?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would probably have to say, if we could figure it out with Kenny and Nike, all black would be pretty cool, but that's up to them. We'll see.
Yeah, of all the meals you've had in the new dining hall, what's the best meal you've had?
See, I'm not a huge picky eater, but my favorite would probably be one time at lunch we had pizza, cheeseburgers, and Philly cheesesteaks. That definitely was one of my 3 favorite foods right there, so that was a good day.
You've been in Austin for 8 home games now. What's the specific moment when it's got the loudest?
The loudest game? Wow, it's tough. I think they're all ridiculously loud, as we all know, but I would have to say that my first game with the students here last year against, I believe it was Arizona, and it was on ESPN at night. I think that first third down was one of the loudest noises I've probably ever heard, and I'll remember that for a long time.
You obviously can't be a football player for your whole life, so What are your aspirations when you're done with football?
That's a good question. I wish I knew that, but I'm doing business right now with sports management as one focus and a double major in economics. So I'm thinking theoretically I'd like to do something where sports and business mix someday. Something in the in the athletic department, something maybe in professional, but something where I can kind of mix sports and business, because those are 2 things I do enjoy.
You guys got a lot of Nike gear. What do you guys do with it when you're all done?
Well, during the games we have to give all that back. So they don't trust us keeping our cleats and stuff. We got to give our jerseys back, give all that back, and then at the end of the year we can keep some of our travel gear, and then a lot of the stuff they got rules, so they got to keep it. So I actually cleared out my locker, moving in here, and I got a huge duffel bag, and I sent it home with my parents and just kind of stockpiling. So someday I'll go through it and figure it all out.
Last year, quarterbacks wore white hats on the sideline. We're wearing red hats the other day. Is there anything behind that, or is it just kind of...
It's easier for us, for the guys in the game to see us on the sideline signaling and everything. It's just when you wear that white hat, you kind of blend in. So I think the red kind of makes it easier for them to see us.
Were there any games last year when you thought, man, if something goes wrong, I could be in the game today?
We stayed pretty healthy last year, which was good. Marcus stayed pretty much in every single game. The only time where he had to come out due to a slight injury was, I think, 3 plays against Cal. So, but that was a short span, so I knew that he was coming right back. So I don't think last year we ever got into that situation where I was 1 play away.
Brian Bennett was close to transferring at the beginning of the season. Did you feel like you were ready if you were the second-string quarterback and had to go in a situation like at Cal?
I think definitely I would have gotten. He thought about transferring pretty early there after fall camp, so I think if I get those weakest snaps, I would have been able to move the ball and been done fine. Brian was, as we know, pretty good though, so he was definitely he's definitely missed.
Fans will, I'm sure, hear your name a lot this year. What's one thing you think fans should know about you that they don't really know yet?
One thing they know about me they don't probably know. They'd have to know that I'm actually a big sports fan, so I know a lot about all the sports, what's going on. So, and my favorite, I'd say the weird thing that they probably don't know is my favorite football team is the Buffalo Bills, and I love them, and I always will. I'm from California, but that's just the way it is.
All right, Jeff, thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.